Wow, the cryptocurrency market is absolutely going off, guys. The market cap 314 billion, have not seen it like this in so long. Bitcoin alone up 13.6%. It takes a lot of capital coming into Bitcoin to push the price up that high, that quick. So have the bulls returned? Are the bears gone for good? We're gonna check that out right now, so stick around. Guys, I've got to be completely honest with you. It has been tough doing crypto weekly videos every week with the market in such shambles as it just kept going down and down over the past couple of months before it hit that bottom. But here we're seeing the typical cryptocurrency market. This is what happens in the crypto market. Things go down really quick, but things absolutely explode really quick. So are we out of the woods? Is this it? Have the bulls returned for good? Let's check out some fundamentals and see what's behind this sudden rush of capital into cryptocurrencies and see if we can work out exactly what's happening. So taking a look at the market capital over the past 7 days, what we can see is the market cap was kind of hovering around this $250 billion mark. Many people thought it was the bottom. I actually kind of was looking at it and thinking, I think this is the bottom as well, because it really just wasn't moving past that low point. Yesterday or late last night, the market absolutely exploded. We had an enormous rush of capital come into the market in a very, very short amount of time. You can see here it went from 272 billion up to a peak of 301 billion within just a few hours. From there, it had a very, very small correction and it's just been climbing ever since, now sitting at $314 billion. So a huge rush of money is just pouring into cryptocurrencies right now. So the big question is this a bear trap? Many people are calling this a short squeeze, or they think there's some market forces around the Bitcoin futures that could be affecting the price. Let's take a look at a few different articles and theories and take a look at what some of the experts are actually saying to try and work out what's going on and what could be coming in the next few days, if not the next few weeks. So first up, here's an image I found from a guy that said that tomorrow for OTC hedge funds is approved, shorts are going to get wrecked bad. Best part, it's derivative guys over leveraged shorts, likely will happen between midnight and 8 AM Chicago time. Not sure if I believe, if true, but would be a stupid slingshot up. So that's pretty crazy, kind of predicted some of the forces around what was going on in the market. Let's have a look at some other stuff. We've got an article here from Crypto Coin News, which kind of explains a little bit about this bear trap and liquidated shorts. So what some people are theorizing is it's something called a short squeeze. Now, a short squeeze is where traders that are shorting an asset have their positions liquidated. Basically, they lose their positions. The outcome is the guys will jump straight back in at the current market price, which essentially is a large flow of capital that comes in really quick, causing the price to quickly jump up. So this is just one theory. This is kind of a short-term look at what's going on in the market. I always prefer to look at long-term outlooks and look at people that have been going long on Bitcoin for a while. So let's check out here a medium pros from Pantera Capital. Now, Pantera Capital is one of the world's largest cryptocurrency hedge funds and has actually been operating for 7 years. Now, in that 7 years, they've only ever made 4 calls as to the state of the market. So the two guys that wrote this post are Dan Pantera and Joe Krug of Pantera Capital Management, and they first go on just to acknowledge that some of the downward pressure on the market has likely been due to tax sell-offs, as a lot of people made a lot of money last year and have been selling off the cryptocurrencies leading up to the US tax deadline. So as I said, this is the 4th ever recommendation from Pantera Capital in their 7 years of operation. So this is a pretty big deal. What they say is that everyone involved in cryptocurrencies should be having a 3 to 5 year horizon, which is really good to hear. That's that long-term outlook that certainly myself and this channel has on cryptocurrency investment. So kind of summarizing the most important parts of this blog post, what they say is that $6,500 Bitcoin valuation is likely to be the low for this bear market, and that the vast majority of the next 365 days will be above that price. They go on to finish with saying that they rarely have had such strong conviction on timing. A wall of institutional money will drive the markets much higher. Now, moving on to the next expert, we have Tom Lee of Fundstrat. Tom Lee is a real expert in this space who talks about Bitcoin a lot. He's previously reported Bitcoin to potentially hit $30,000 by the end of the year. Here is Tom in a recent interview with CNBC talking about Bitcoin potentially tripling in price by the end of the year. Let's have a listen.
Bitcoin bounce, we came down certainly a long way. Is this bounce to the upside here to stay?
Well, it's overdue. Bitcoin's incredibly oversold, and when you look at metrics like price to book, which is mining cost, or our Bitcoin misery index, it's pretty much what you saw at the end of the 2014 bear market, not the start. And we do think that tax capital gains related selling really accelerated in the past couple weeks because, tax day's coming up.
How high do you think it could go, Tom?
We still feel pretty confident Bitcoin is a great risk reward, and we think it could reach 25,000 by the end of the year.
Now, Tom actually estimated that up to $25 billion in tax is actually owed by various retail investors based in the US, but also exchanges as well, due to the massive and highly profitable year in 2017 for investors that got into cryptocurrencies really early. So $25 billion is a lot of money, and now the tax deadline in the US is April 15th, so we're only 2 days away from that now. So as we're getting close to that date, this could be a combination of those tax sell-offs drawing to a close leading up to that day, in addition to lots of new capital coming into the market, which we'll get into in just a bit. So even though the market is absolutely roaring at the moment, and it's fantastic to see, I still think, we've still got a couple of days leading up to that tax date. The fact that Tom and other experts have basically been saying that downward pressure is largely due to those tax sell-offs. I don't know whether we could still see some more sell-offs before that date. It wouldn't surprise me. So, I'm really optimistic of the market. I'm always optimistic long-term, but I'm kind of cautiously optimistic of this sudden surge. So this was also pretty big news during the week, and it was on George Soros preparing to trade cryptocurrencies, reported by Bloomberg. Now, the article itself is actually a bit of an abstract of what actually happened. Essentially, they have a manager that oversees the Soros fund based in the US. Now, the fund was given approval to trade virtual coins in the last few months, although it hasn't actually made any trades as of yet. So I guess it does show, though, that the funds are starting to be willing to take the risks of getting into cryptocurrencies, which is a really good overall sign for the entire market, because funds like the Soros funds and the Rockefellers and the Rothschilds and all that do have enormous reserves of capital, and the fact that they're willing to get in cryptocurrencies is for sure a very, very positive sign. So our sponsor today is Open Platform, which is a project that has been in development since 2017 that aims to be the PayPal of the blockchain world by developing a solution for applications and cryptocurrency payments. They've achieved this by building an infrastructure called Open API, which will actually allow application developers to build decentralized application payment gateways without needing to know a specific blockchain's programming language. The Open API architecture is blockchain agnostic, so applications built on it can operate on any blockchain that supports smart contracts. This will greatly increase the usability and flexibility for developers and project founders to integrate cryptocurrency payments into their apps. See, another critical problem solved by Open Platform is the requirement for consumers and developers to accept a single cryptocurrency. The team at Open Platform have innovatively developed a solution that will actually allow applications built on the open architecture to accept any cryptocurrency, and for developers to essentially pick and choose what they want to accept. So a good example of Open Platform's ecosystem and integration is it will allow existing applications, for example Candy Crush, to integrate a cryptocurrency payment mechanism into their existing application by deploying something called a scaffold. Other examples are games like Fortnite Battle Royale, which allows in-game purchases for various upgrades and items, and really just shows an example of how popular in-game transactions have actually been. And just goes to show the market for actually integrating cryptocurrency payments within these apps to help mass adoption and to reduce overall costs of the fiat settlement. Now, the deployment of a scaffold will track in-game items and cryptocurrency payments within the application, as will all be executed within Open Platform. To give you an example of just how big in-app purchasing actually is, the projection for 2017 was that it was going to be $37 billion was going to be spent just in in-app purchases. The token associated with Open Platform is called the Open Token, and really pushes the boundaries for token utility, as it's actually used by developers to stake for the opportunity to build an application. The token is also going to be used as payment for services within the Open Platform ecosystem. So the future for Open Platform is bright, with a highly qualified team with experience across companies such as Facebook, Samsung and Viacom. This coupled with Open Platform's ecosystem that's going to allow developers to build these payment applications across multiple blockchains and for their applications, in addition to accepting multiple cryptocurrencies, is truly the beginning of the crypto industry's path to mass adoption. Now, on to the last story for today. This one is really exciting for me for a number of reasons. Now, this was reported by The Age, and the title is Blockchain to Get Behind the Grid in Landmark Australian Deal. So a company by the name of the IoT Group, which is like a digital tech company, they make drones, they also make applications and things, have signed an agreement with Hunter Energy to build a blockchain center inside the Red Bank coal-fired power station to provide cheaper electricity for blockchain applications, but also a mining operation. So this story is really, really cool and is actually quite close to my heart because I live pretty close to the New South Wales Hunter Valley. I've driven through there many, many, many times. On one hand, you've got these beautiful valleys and wineries, and on the other side, you've got huge mines, you've got conveyors everywhere, you've got coal trains running coal from the mines out to the port at Newcastle. So having a mining operation and blockchain facilities there is such a contrast to what is there at the moment. So this is really, really exciting stuff. Now, this particular mine that's actually going to provide energy, or this power station that's going to provide energy to the mining operation, has actually been closed down for a number of years. So 2014 is how long this mine has actually been shut down for, and they're basically going to be recommissioning the mine just for this mining operation, just for this blockchain center. So really exciting stuff, and this is like an Australian first, this deal. It's a massive deal by the IoT group and Hunter Energy, so super exciting stuff. Now, the Bitcoin mining operation itself, they're estimating is going to be the size of around 2 hectares, so quite big, and it's basically going to get wholesale electricity rates because it's going to be right next to the power station. They're estimating it to get around 20% cheaper energy than retail customers get at the moment. So this is just super cool stuff, and I'm going to be following this story really, really closely and make sure that I keep updating you guys as well, and I might even reach out to the IoT group and see if I can get them on maybe for an interview if they're willing to have a bit of a chat about the facility, and maybe even one day once they've actually built it, I can go and do a tour, which I think would be awesome. Now guys, before we move on to the crypto tip for the week, make sure you go and watch the video I published yesterday on the Trezor Black cryptocurrency hardware wallet review. Basically, I look at the wallet, I go through the unboxing, I power it up, and I give you my thoughts and opinions on it, having used a Ledger for a year. Long story short, it's a really cool device. I think it's great. In fact, I think it's better than the Ledger, actually. I'm really, really impressed with it. But at the end of the video, I'm doing a giveaway, so you've got to go and watch the video, like, subscribe, all that stuff. And if you comment down below, basically in a week, probably at the next Crypto Weekly video, I'm going to be randomly drawing out one of those comments. It's a Trezor White, brand new, obviously unsealed in the box. So be sure to comment on that video if you want to go in the draw to win that Trezor. Now guys, onto the crypto tip for the week. We've got cryptonews.com. Now it's a really nice new site, quite different than the typical cryptocurrency sites that you see. You can see here, got Bitcoin, Ethereum, Bitcoin Cash, and they've actually got the buy and sell on different exchanges, which is cool. Lots of really great updates on news as well. But one of the cool things they're doing is they're doing like recommended YouTube videos from different channels around there on YouTube at the moment, which is something I don't think I've seen any other websites do. So really cool. Make sure you check them out, and I'll leave a link down in the description. Now also guys, just to give our own site a plug, always have to give it a plug. Been really, really hard at work at this lately. We're finally starting to get some incredible information up here. We finally got 2 cryptocurrency guides. So we've got an Australian exchanges guide and a cryptocurrency investment guide by our awesome writer Gary. Now these guides are specifically targeting Australians. So the Australian exchanges guide essentially will go through and review some of the best exchanges Australians can actually use, but we also go into much more detail than that and actually go through what fiat gateways are, what are the requirements of exchanges in regards to complying with KYC and AML under AUSTRAC. So this is the kind of cornerstone content we're really, really trying to plug out on this site. We don't necessarily want to be a news site. We don't want to kind of chase the hype and speculation. We just want to do really, really good content for Australians and for anyone for that matter who wants to come in and learn a bit more about cryptocurrencies and the best way to go about getting involved. So as always guys, there's a link down in the description to the website if you want to check it out. I just want to say thanks heaps for watching this video. I hope you got value in it. If you did, likes are always really, really appreciated guys. I hope you have a great weekend. My name's Bo, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Cheers.